My favorite strategy for teaching is something I've been working on the last couple of years. That's the idea of using story to engage imagination, which is kind of crazy because you don't think of emotion, imagination being part of engineering education, but imagination is the greatest friend we have as a teacher. If we can engage a student emotionally, engage their imagination, they're going to learn more. Okay, so this is the most elastic thing I've ever seen in my life, right? Okay, so why story? What type of narrative will be effective in the classroom? What kind of story will my students care about? And I find the most useful thing in my teaching has been the work by Kieran Egan. What he looks at is what types of story engage the imaginations of students. And he looks at it as 5 different levels of understanding which students progress from one to the next. By the time they get to the college level, they should be around level 4 or 5, which he refers to as philosophic and ironic understanding. In philosophic understanding, it's a search for truth and generality. So for example, Newton's laws would be a way of generalizing the complex behavior of the universe. And I can use these powerful, simple schema and ideas to engage students in learning. And then ironic understanding is the fact that once you do this, you realize, wait a minute, Newton's laws don't always work. Newton's laws were created by human beings and therefore they're limited. And so ironic understanding is that final stage of understanding where we realize these wonderful schema have limitations. What's surprising though is that the 2 that come before then, called mythic and romantic understanding, are also very useful. So even though that's not the stage they're at when they're college level, they never really lose these earlier stages. So for example, the mythic level is all about the idea of fantasy and mystery. So even though I'm an adult now, I still like going to see Harry Potter because we never lose that love of fantasy and mystery. And then the other level is romantic understanding, which I love using in the classroom. Romantic understanding is all about searching for the extremes of reality and looking at heroes and heroines. So for example, imagine you were taking a course from me and you had a choice of 2 courses. One is a course all about building systems, about structural systems, plumbing, and so forth. Would you take that course, or would you take a course called How High Can We Build a Skyscraper? Which would be the exact same content, but presented in a story format, a story that students care about.